Right, we've got Kara stalling here as we get underway. Welcome everyone to the Challenger League Season 11 Italian Grand Prix here at Imola. We've got quite the interesting race we've got set up for you. We're going to be following Kara on our single one-shot qualifying here for the sprint. It is full wet conditions. We've got a lot of laps to see out for the first race of two for this round of our season, and I'm joined by Nuno as we're rounding the final corner.
Hello.
And it looks like Matima. No, Kata has actually taken pole by quite some distance to the rest of the field. Comfortable lead for him. 25 hundredths off the next best car. We've got Kata and Matima on the front row. Kiato and Rusky are tied for P3. We'll see how the game decides between those two. 6Y will be in 5th on qualifying, but he will start from the back. Kato in P6, then it's the Heritage Performance, Ethan ahead of Drozdov. Golomi in P9, followed by Figuera. Maybe some cars still struggling in the wet. Tie for P11 between Saucy and Vlad. And uncharacteristically slow for Vlad. Maybe had a bit of a struggle in that single lap. Urist in P13 behind his teammate. Then Bubbles in 14th. Pumpkin, Juan, Kissia, Suicide, and Wojtek filling out the rest of the grid. He was a bit slow as well. It's yeah, those mistakes really add up on that single lap, and we saw that right now. But there is a clear class on the field, and it is Kata. And it's Championship Drive at the moment in P6 to start us off. What do you think about that, Nuno?
Yeah, Kyler has been looking fast this week, so would be surprised if he wins in the end. But yeah, it should be an interesting race. Some chaos on a track like this. It is quite difficult to overtake. But yeah, Vlad's starting quite far down. He's in 3rd in the standings. Big surprise there.
Yeah, Vlad very far down, and the top two being 3rd and 4th in the standings, with Kata ahead. 4th and 2nd, sorry, Matimar in that P2, just 9.5 points behind Kata at the moment, so it's another big chance for him to catch up as well. And maybe Kiato in P5 in the standings as well can make some ground on the leaders too. We've got, I believe, how many laps was it for the sprint? 13?
Yeah, I believe so.
So,
I think it's 13, then it's like 29, no. Yes, 34 laps for the feature, 13 for the sprint.
Gonna be quite a long distance. These wets can go quite the distance though. We've got 5 red lights, and Kata has stalled on the grid. Rusky is fallen.
Oh
right.
my god!
He's rammed straight into his rear wing there. Kiato finding the... Oh, it's absolute chaos in Tamburello as the cars are all over the place. But it is a clear 1-2 between Matima and Kato. He's the Frenchman finding some struggles, but it is the pole in front after the first few corners. Ethan following, great start from him into P3. Figuera lining up side by side as they enter the final 2 corners of Rivazza. Kata has made a bit of a recovery into P5 as we start lap 2. Kiato behind them, then Vlad, Golomi, and Rusky in P9. Oh no, Golomi has fallen all the way off, exiting the Tamburello chicane quite poorly there. And yeah, it's absolute carnage as we only just get our sprint started away here. But it is the top 2 running away at the moment. Matty and Kato starting us off for our 3rd lap. Matty with the fastest lap so far. And great getaway from the pole. We go in P3 now. Gonna see what he can do in this position. Kiato, oh, he gets blocked off the apex there. And Vlad is gonna pick up the pieces and head into the podium position himself. Pumpkins, Kiato just trying to get not too close with his teammate here. He catches the grass into Variante Alta. 4 cars now with Ethan also following into that pack as well. But Vlad has run away a little bit into P3. We'll see what he can do with that position. But at the moment, it's Matimar, a 2nd ahead of Kato in P2. And it is an absolute mess as we enter Tosa with some of the midfield cars here. We see some of the SCRs finding some trouble. Wotek swerves into the middle of the ground. Oh my goodness. He finds trouble in Piratella, and he finds trouble further in Aqua Minerale. And Golomi, oh my god, it's absolute carnage here. Saucy finding trouble in Ravazza. Oh, the back
Vlad in third place.
Crazy. Yeah, Vlad into P3, but Figo is chasing here. He's made a mistake, and he might lose 2 in one corner. We're going 3 wide into Piratella, and it looks like the drivers have sort of sorted themselves out here, but Figo, lovely line through Aqua Minerale to make that overtake. He's back into P3. Absolute carnage so far, Nuno.
Yeah, really big carnage. Vlad really gaining a lot of position. Also, Rusky really unlucky there behind Kyler, being stuck behind him, and I think he did lost a few positions. And I think someone really needs to be aware that if you start behind Kyler, you might need to make some avoiding action. But yeah, I think Ruti Mati looking for a win, I would say.
Or speaking of Rusky, Kiato fighting alongside for P9. Kato's made a mistake there. He's lost a few positions out of Aqua Minerale as they 4 cars racing down the pit straight. Rusky trying to avoid the grass there at turn 1. But he gets knocked off by Kiato instead. He's back down into P9 where he started that lap in. Drozdov, Saucy, 6Y also chasing behind them. Saucid in P13, but it is still Matima in the lead. Kato still in second, Figo in third, and it's Vlad in fourth. Kata moving back into P5, addressing that mistake earlier. Pumpkin on his slipstream though. The Norwegian will be hoping to get past the Colombian here. It's already lap 8.
Yeah, Kyler is not an easy driver to overtake. I will say the big thing really doesn't help, and the one really needs to try and find an opportunity somehow, maybe with a mistake or something like that. But it does take a lot of mental training, let's say.
Yeah, very much a mental sport dealing with that. Dealing with that ping. Pumpkin still content to follow Kata around the track, and they're actually closing up to Vlad in P4, so maybe they could both find some something here. Kata maybe getting stopped at the exit of Piratella, but no, Vlad goes wide at Aqua Minerale, and both drivers are able to go through. Vlad now into P6. Kiato behind them in 7th. Ethan Rusky still chasing them, and then it's Drozdov and 6Y fighting side by side on the pit straight. They're going to have to enter Sambarello side by side, and it's going to be 6Y taking the chocolates there, just getting ahead into P10, but Drozdov isn't backing out now. Oh, and a big shove there from 6Y. That was quite... Yeah, that was a bit off there. Saucy behind them. Oh, big trouble there. Golomi and Suicide fighting the grass there at the exit of Aqua Minerale. Cassia getting through into P14. Urist, Bubbles, 1 and Wojtek still fighting trouble here. Just cannot get past each other quite well. It's an almighty scrap here. Bubbles on the inside of Ravazza is not going to... he's still trying to fight this position here, though. And it's not going to go quite well. Both drivers fighting trouble in Tamburello, into Villeneuve, and into Toside. It's 3 off the track. Oh, absolute carnage at the very back of the field. But let's go back to the front now. Matimar, 2 seconds ahead. 2 seconds behind, sorry. Kato, I'm not sure what happened there. No, the game's being a bit silly with the timing at the moment. Matimar's still ahead. But Kato, 1.3 behind him. Figo and Kato. Now, it's an absolute struggle because Figo and Vlad have been really slow the past few laps, so might have an almighty scrap for the final position on the podium into the last lap. Kiato all adrift at P7, then it's 6Y who's made ground into P8. Rusky, Drozdov, Ethan, Saucy, and Golomi all still fighting between P9 and P13. We're going to have to enter here. Matimar is losing ground. Kato is about still a second behind him, so it should be smooth sailing for the pole to take this. Was quite comfy, started in P2, had clean air, and just ran away with it. It's Matimar, it's Poland on top in the sprint in Imola. Kato in P2, Figo, Pumpkin, side by side, and it looks like, I think Pumpkin has taken it. Figo, then Kato, Vlad, Kiato. We'll have to see where that goes here. But yeah, some timing discrepancies there. But I think it's going to be Pumpkin and snatching that snatching that podium. I'm not too sure how that went out. So it should be Matimar first, Kato second, then it's Pumpkin third, Figo fourth, then it's Kata in P5 and then Vlad in P6, Kiato, then 6Y, Ethan in P9, then Saucy, Rusky, Golomi, Drozdov, Suicid, Kasia, Bubbles, Juan, Urist, and Wojtek rounding us out. With Kata also taking the fastest lap of the race to go with that bundle of points he did get. But it is Matimar, Kato, and Pumpkin on the podium. Good result for the top two, of course, but great showing from Pumpkin, able to fight through the midfield and get that podium at the very death.
Yeah, really nice result for him. Looks like the Lynx driver might be maybe looking to help his team more in UL potentially, and yeah, very interesting battle there. Like Vlad climbing up to third and ending up in guess P7, P6, depends. I'm not sure exactly where.
He was in P4 for most of that race. Yeah, he's ended up P6. I think 6Y has gotten a bit of a timing discrepancy.
Yeah, maybe Vlad may have been able to avoid a lot of the chaos at the start, and maybe towards the end, you know, I don't think he may have been that prepared when it comes to pace, and that may have led him to make a lot of driving mistakes. But yeah, also I'm not sure if Kato can race in the future. I think he was lagging too much.
Yeah. Here we are, 3 laps on the dries for our feature race now. Kato's stalling. 6Y stalling. Not too sure what's going on with them. But let's follow Figo for now. A little bit of grass clips into Tamburello. And a very late, very early apex into Tosa. That's really not what you want for a hairpin of any variety. So we'll have to see how the strategy really goes. Got 31, I believe, laps of Imola, and you could realistically make the case for a 2-stop on all softs, but after 1 lap, it is Matimar. The pole still flying after his first win in the Challenger League. And yeah, back on top for now with a 28.08. Can anyone beat that? Potentially go into the 27s. We didn't see anyone do that in the JL race, but if there's any time to do it, now's the time. 6Y has that pace, so does Kata. Kata does put in a 27.9 to take it. Matimar will have to improve. 6Y into the top 4 now, with Kato getting into second. Very tight field right now. Kata is the pace of the pack at the moment. It's Pumpkin in P7, Figo in P6. Golomi also doing a good job in P5. We'll see one last chance for these drivers to improve as they're heading into the final stretch of the lap. Here we go. Kata is in with a 27.88, and that should be enough. Pumpkin onto the front row with a... Oh no! 6Y is putting in absolute monster lap. And he's made sure it's a 1-2 in quali for the VEOs. 6Y ahead of Kata. 6Y will have to start at the back, but I'm not sure what will happen with Kata given his stalling at the moment. It might be both drivers starting at the back, but we'll have to see. Pumpkin with a brilliant lap as well into P3. Then it's Saucy, surprise in P4. Strong result for the SCR. Then Kato is in P5, tied with Matimar. I believe Matimar might take that position given he did make that lap first. No, he did improve actually, sorry. So it might be Kato ahead of Matimar there. Golomi in P7, strong result. And Figo in P8. Ethan and Rusky rounding out the top 10 in our qualifying session. Behind them is Alexei Drozdov. Then Kiato in P12. Wojtek in 13th. Bubbles, then Juan. The 2 Bobcats, 16th and 17th. Urist ahead of Vlad. And Kasia tying Vlad with the slowest lap of the tape. Only 8 tenths behind pole. With Imola really showing that this is a pure power track in terms of the cars, in terms of putting that foot on the floor and really dealing with the chicanes as fast as you can before making that trip around lovely countryside. Now,
should I put both of them at the back then?
I think so. Alrighty, after a bit of delays, we're back in our grids. We're going to see Who's gonna bet on a different tyre? Everyone but one is starting on softs as we get underway here for our feature race. Kata leading the pack into Tamburello. Saucy goes wide. Oh, that's a terrible start for the SCR. Oh my god, massive drama as we're heading into Tosa now. Oh, Pumpkin is joined back in. Oh, that's game crash for Pumpkin. That's not good. That's unfortunate. Rusky has disconnected, I think, as well. He's gotten some massive lag shunt there. So we are seeing ourselves. Both Bobcats go wide with Kissia. There's massive time loss for them. But back at the front, it's Kato, and Kato are two title protagonists being chased by Matimar in P3. Kato getting a great run through Tosa and taking the lead there. Rusky also leaving, yeah, after that delay. So we've already had 2 DNFs in the space of 2 laps. Matty and Drozdov now into P4, fighting with this lead group. It's a great start for him as we get ourselves underway still. Kissia, the only driver on the mediums. Drozdov finding himself a lot of trouble into Tamburello, losing a couple of places there. Unfortunate for him. Kiato chasing behind him in P7. Not going to be nice to see 3 cars going straight on. Oh, Kiato's massive crash there, and he's lost a lot of time and a lot of positions. Huge and hectic start so far as we are getting underway with only lap 4 of 34. What do you think about that, Nuno?
Yeah, quite a chaotic start. Some people seem to have crashed. I think Pumpkin crashed right away at the start, and yeah, a lot of drivers on the soft tires. I think it is possible, not sure if it is possible to do a two-stopper with just softs. Probably they might have to take either the mediums or the hards at some point, or maybe go for a free stopper.
Yeah, we'll really have to see what everyone decides on at the moment. Pumpkin and Rusky are DNFs so far. We've got packs of 2 on each side. For a lot of the packs at the moment, just packs of 2. Kato and Matimar fighting for the lead at the moment. Just Matimar just tailing Kato for the time being. Kato and Figueroa also racing, not too far behind them, battling for the last spot on the podium. It's Golomi, and Bubbles has cut on to this pair between Golomi and Drozdov. So now it's 5th, 6th, and 7th trying to fight away. Saucy in P8, terrible start, but has made up for it so far. Back into the top 10. Then it's Vlad and Kiato going side by side into Tamburello. Vlad is going to win out there. Kiato still not out of it. He tries to go on the inside. 3 into that inside corner of Tosa, just not going to work there. Wojtek trying to make a gap appear that just wasn't there to begin with. But he's still in this fight though. Kiato and Vlad going side by side. Oh, that's a terrible exit there for Kiato, unfortunately. And 6Y is going to be chasing him side by side down the line. Again, more trouble for Kiato. It's still going okay for him though. 6Y, Wojtek, Ethan trying to get a piece of it. Drozdov has found a lot of grass, and so is Wojtek back behind there. Drozdov losing 2 positions there. Vlad and Kiato shoved onto the outside of Aqua Minerale. Drozdov retains P8 for now. Vlad, Kiato, and 6Y tailing behind him. Bubbles finds the gas, and so does Vlad. It's even more chaos as we get our first pit stops. Eurus is also DNF'd as well, as Kata gets out of the pits for the first time in P13. So that's 3 DNFs before most of the drivers have made a single stint. And it's absolute carnage here in the back markets, and Kata has found a lot of trouble to try to sift through on these fresh tyres. Can he make anything happen as Matimar goes in for a stop now? And so does Golomi. Matimar is coming out now, and it's going to be a huge overcut for the pole. So he gained so much time on Kata there, who is now into P5 as tons of drivers have piled in for their first stops off of that soft tyre. Wojtek into the hards, and Kata finding even more trouble here with the Nordic Blizzard of Kiato. Golomi passed him now into P4. That will potentially still be net P4 once the top 2 have made their stops, which they have. And it is Matimar with that undercut now. Overcut the rest of the field, but undercut the top 2 and is now in the lead. Kato and Figueroa fighting it away for him. The Rikers surrounding the Frenchman here. It's Matimar still in the lead. Figueroa trying to make a move. Kato goes wide into Aqua Minerale, loses a ton of time there. Oh, that's a massive... I think he might have seen himself get punted a little bit, but that is a horrible crash, and that has really derailed his chances of winning this race. It's a Riker 1-2 as we enter lap 11. Kato finding trouble there, maybe side by side with Kato on his screen, but he's going to have to settle for P5 for now. Golormi and Kato also... He's still finding trouble there, getting through Toaster just fine, but Aquamirali, Kato finds the inside, and Kato has made 2 positions very quickly. He's into P3, he's into the podium's positions, but Kato isn't going to let him out without a fight. It's still neck and neck between these 2 drivers, but is Matimar in the front, hoping to take another race win, but he's got his teammate in Figueira to contend with now. It is big gaps between a lot of the main battles here. And quite the interesting race so far as we are just ending lap 12. Thoughts on that, Nuno?
Yeah, Mati's overcut really worked pretty well as he took full advantage of the clean there and just got away now. And he has better tires than someone like Kyler who really have to cut to the traffic, and it was really a big struggle there. And yeah, I think Mati was really going well for a double win today.
And massive points for Riker Auto as well. Kata is into P3. He seems to have lost Kato and Golormi. He's still about 2 seconds back from the leading duo. And it's Kato, Golormi still on their way here. They do have fresher tyres. At least Kato definitely has fresher tyres than Kata does. Golormi in P5, still tailing him off though. Then it's Saucy all alone in P6. He's dealt with a lot of the traffic so far, and is after that terrible start going off at Tamburello in the very first lap, he's made amends. He's in P6 at the moment. Bubbles in P7 on the mediums though, trying a different strategy to everyone else. But he's got 6Y for company in just about a lap and a half's time. He's just outside of the slip range for now. And it's Drozdov in P9. Tailed by Kiato in P10, then Ethan and Vlad. Ethan, oh, a little bit of teleporting there from Ethan. I'm not too sure how Vlad is going to handle that. It's been a struggle of a weekend. It's a lot about recovery for Vlad. He's going to go on the inside of Aquaminerali and take P11 from Ethan there. Nice move. But Ethan is still going to try and fight that. He's got the inside into Ravazza. Vlad tries for a switchback, but it's not going to work out. Wojtek in P13 on the hards will be hoping for something different. And then Cassia is the last of our runners at the moment. Urist, Rusky, and Pumpkin all out of the race so far. Kata in for another stop.
I think Kata might be going for a free stopper, I think.
Definitely a 3-stopper for him, and definitely a 3-stopper for Saucy behind as well. Bubbles and 6Y getting through. Saucy and Drozdov as well into the pits for another set of soft tyres. So hopefully this time Kata, with some very free air, can maybe get his pace on track. But Figueira is going to immediately respond, and Matimar has actually lost the lead. It's his teammate Figo who's holding on to the net lead at the moment. And we're going to see how close Kata gets to the 2. Kata is into P2. He splits the Riker Autos after the pit stops. Matimar must have made some dire errors during the end of that stint, because Kata has made all that time back and then some. At the moment, Kata and Golormi definitely still need to pit at the moment. And they might also be stuck on a 3-stop strategy, so definitely not going to benefit from that overcut. Behind them is going to be Bubbles heading in, and Saucy is actually going to head up right next to Golormi now. So massive gains, 2-stop tire advantage on that undercut for Saucy, and he's right on Golormi's tail now. So maybe he could potentially look for more than just P6. Kato in P7, still needing to stop, and 6Y behind him on fresh rubber as well, so it should be an easy pass if Kato doesn't go through the pits. Bubbles onto the softs now. Wojtek still running on the hards in P10. Kato heads into the pit lane. Vlad chasing, and Wojtek is also in for another stop, so maybe the hards were just not the play here at all for Wojtek there. He's going to come out in P12 with Kissia behind him, and Ethan now DNFing as well. Didn't really catch that.
He also had a
Yeah.
he had a game crashes like Rusky and Pumpkin, I think.
Yeah, 4 DNFs in a single race, and we're not even 2/3 of the way to the end here. Figueroa in the lead, a second ahead of Kata, but Kata is chasing quite nicely despite having a lap older tyres here. So, Figo, the pressure is really on for him. And pressure is on for Matimar. Can he salvage something from that glorious move he made earlier? Could something happen?
Kader, I think consider that Kader this time actually managed to undercut the pole driver. I think it really shows a lot about the pace because Kader had worse tires than him on the second stint, and now really proving to be in a much better situation. So yeah, really applying that pressure to Figueroa.
Yeah, definitely. He's gaining just a tiny bit every lap. It was a 700th advantage the last lap, and Kata has now got the slipstream. Just shows the real pace difference. Kata has been on a flyer the past few laps, especially compared to some of his contemporaries at the front of the field. He's going neck and neck. Kata trying to make a move here into Variante Alto. It's nothing doing there. Figo's going to hold the inside, and Rivazza, it's a big shove. Both drivers hit the grass, and it looks like Figo is still in the lead for now, just barely.
He needs to be a little bit careful with Kata's spin because it could be really dangerous, especially
really
if you go side
dangerous
by
and
side.
really disastrous for both drivers. Potentially lose out on their lead with Matima at the moment. Kata gets on the outside of Piratella, and it should be the lead for him. Figo holding onto that slip for time being, but it is going to be tight. He is a fair distance away now. But Kata does have the slower tyres. Figo in! What?
10 laps to go, I guess.
10 laps to go. Can Figo
bigger
take a huge undercut here? He does have Gorlomi slipstream, so he has pit in a really good position here. Saucy also onto the mediums now, so Figo hoping to go to the end on the softs. Saucy's not chancing it and going for the mediums for his third stop. And this is definitely a little bit earlier than I was expecting for our third stops, but yeah, with Figueroa pressing the button, Kata has no choice. He's going to react, and he's going to go onto the softs now, and that leaves Kata and Matimar into their own devices. Kata now into the lead of the race. Both drivers still need to stop. Matimar has just been at sea since leading earlier just 2 stints ago. But actually, it's 3-way now. Figueroa has taken the lead from Kata with that undercut, and Kata, finding the inside of Aqua Minerali, is going to lose some time there. Gorlomi also in that fight, but he will need to pit, and both drivers, Kata and Matimar at the front, are going to go in for their final stops, and it's a 2-car showdown for 9 laps here between Figueroa and Kata for the win of our feature race. And we'll have to see what happens between Kata and Matimar for that last position on the podium. Saucy and Gorlomi now fighting for P5 now. Saucy has been really pacey, but on those mediums, I'm not sure how he's going to fight. Gorlomi has a lot fresher tyres, and he's on that soft tyre compound. It's going to be quite tough for Saucy to do too much about that. Then Gorlomi into P5 now. 6Y also on that last stint of softs is in P7. Then Bubbles and Kiato and Wojtek making those last second stops now. Vlad and Alexei Drozdov are going to get the undercut on them too, and it's going to be 10th and 9th respectively for them. But let's go back to the front. It's Figueroa, Kata side by side into Tamburello. They're still side by side entering Villeneuve. Kata finds a grass cut, and it's a huge amount of time gain for him. I'm not sure what we could have seen there on his screen there, but it's still tight. Figueroa still has the slip as far as I'm aware. No, he might have lost it, but he might gain it back all the way here through Rivazza and into the home stretch. Figueroa still in with a chance in this race, though. His tyres will have to be aching by the end of it. He tries to go on the inside. Kata on the outside. He takes the move into Tosa. It is still neck and neck. Kata finding some grass in Aqua Minerali, and Figueroa takes the lead there. Huge mistake. Could be costly at the end. Kata might still have the slipstream, though. No, he might have just lost it. Oh, that's huge. Can Figueroa hold on to this lead for now? There are 4 laps to go, and it is absolutely teeming with tension here. See, into Toso again. Figueroa touching the grass there. It's just enough for Kato to go back into slipstream. And the two drivers are still at it again. Kato just closing deeper and deeper as they head into Ravazza. Figueroa taking that nice inside line. Kato taking a different line. It has gotten... Oh my god, there's a bit of lag there. Kato might see himself in the front now, and he definitely is in front now. Figueroa finding trouble into Tamburello. Tries to make a dive there. He's still on the slipstream though, as they are passing Drozdov on the ghosted blue flags here. Might be a different side. Figueroa tries to go to the inside of Ravazza. It's not going to work. Kata still holding onto the lead as they enter with only 2 laps to go. Figueroa ghosted for a minute there, and he might have lost time, but Kata hits the grass there. Oh dear lord. A little further back, we've got Kato, who's actually dropped Matty for P3, so it might be good for him. Gorlomi has dropped Saucy, and actually 6Y has gotten into P6, but it's Figueroa and Kato side by side into Ravazza again. Figueroa trying to go for a switchback, but his tyres are so dead, they're just not going to allow them to do anything with that. Into the last lap of the race now. Kato in the lead. Figueroa still trying to challenge. They're entering Tosa for the final time. Into the back there. Figueroa and Kato side by side on, but still no luck for Figo. He's trying to go on the inside of Aquamirali. No strap there for him. Kato still holding on as they enter the last 2 corners. Figo just not finding enough at the very death. Kato is going to hold on for the win by just 0.3 of a second. Kato into P3, then Matty, 6Y and Gorlomi. 6Y just gets enough at the end to take that, so he's going to be P4 at the end. Gorlomi, P5, sorry, Gorlomi in P6, then Saucy, Bubbles, Vlad still finding his way to the finish line as well. Oh, absolute titanic battle for 6 or 7 laps there. Kato into P10, Drozdov in 11th, Wojtek and Kisia with everyone else out of the race.
Yeah, it was quite the race there. Figueroa, I think he did pretty well to undercut, because probably that would have been his best chance, and he was sort of working until then Kyler finally managed to make the move, and then it just got really complicated. I think Kyler really used his pace into his favor, because he did have some issues in the middle of the race and have to recover, and he managed to do it, and so there you go, Kyler wins the feature race.
Yeah, he just really had to hope, because I feel like, yeah, Figueroa even saying himself he pit a lap too early. It definitely felt like it was a bit too early on that, and Kato was definitely only responding to that undercut after the single lap. Hopefully, can't really judge too much on the ifs and buts of racing. Kato, Figo, and Kato is your top 3. Matima in P4, valiant effort from him, but just not fast enough in the day. 6Y will finish in P6, I believe. No, Gorlomi did get shoved a little bit at last. I'm not too sure what's going to happen with that, but it was 6Y in P5, Gorlomi P6, Saucy 7th. Then Bubbles, Vlad, and Kiato are top 10 for the day, with Drozdov, Wojtek, Kisia are only finishes for today. What a race. Entertaining battles. It was tight, it was treacherous, and we've gotten another win for the Colombian. That is all for today. Thank you for tuning in. It's been a very hectic round of Challenger League, and hopefully maybe a bit cleaner stuff will happen in our next race. We're heading to the south of France to the Paul Ricard circuit for round 5, the final race before the mid-season break. So I hope you join me for that one. For now, that is all.